Hey everyone, Michelle here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my October TBR. I can't believe I'm already doing this video. It feels like this year has absolutely flown by, so yeah, October already. As with my September TBR, in October I will be basing the number of books I read on my eldest niece's age. In October, she will be turning 13. An actual teenager, which scares me because I literally remember being told by my sister she was pregnant and the next day running around school saying, I'm having a niece or nephew. Sorry Dee, I know you'd asked me to keep it quiet, but 14-year-old Michelle was a bit excited. So in October I'll be planning to read 13 books. I did text her and ask her for 7 numbers between 1 and 29, so she helped pick my books. But in October I also have another birthday, and that is my best friend Sophie's. Now I could have, thought, oh, I'll add both ages together. That'd be 41 books. Shelley ain't got time to read 41 books. So instead of combining the 2 ages, I just asked Sophie to pick another 2 numbers for me. She did pick the same number as my niece, so she did pick another one for me, which I'm very thankful for. Thank you, Sophie. And then the other 4 books I just literally picked at random. So I will show you the screenshots from my niece and my best friend, and then the video of me picking their books. Here it is. Hey everyone, I'm here. So these are the 2 lists of numbers I have to pick up the majority of my books for October. These are from my niece, this is from my best friend. As it's my niece's birthday month in August, she picks most books. Sorry, Soph. But let's get picking the books. So, as like last month, my books are in alpha order. Yes, them 5 books are included in the TBR. So, let's get picking. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 26. Interesting bunch. Now you've seen that, let's move on to the 7 books that my niece picked for me. Book number 3 on my TBR is The King's Witch by Tracy Borman. In this book you follow Frances, who loves living in the countryside, tending to her garden and herbs. While she's been tending to her garden and her herbs, an old priest has been teaching her how to use them for healing properties. One day she finds out that her uncle plans to force her into a marriage in the court of the new King James I. And while she's there, Frances realises that life there isn't the same as it was in the country, and it's very decadent and intolerant. Sorry if I keep checking, I do apologise. And she also finds out that using herbs and things and from the garden as healing properties is actually a sign of witchcraft, and soon she has a target on her back. She goes to the one courtier that she trusts. However, can he really be trusted? That was a really bad summary of this book, I do apologise. I have notes. They're there. I can't read notes. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this book. My friend Sophie did read this book, she enjoyed it. There is a sequel. She hasn't read it because it took so long to come out, so I'm not sure if I will read the sequel. However, possible witchcraft set in like King James I court. I like it. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this book. It does fit in with the whole Halloween theme, and I did want to read it in October, so Good first pick. Book number 6 on my TBR. Dangerous Remedy by Kat Dunn. In this book, you are in Paris in 1794 during the Reign of Terror. You follow 4 outcasts: a revolutionary's daughter, her lover, a deserter and an aristocrat, collectively known as the Battalion of the Dead. I do apologise for looking down there, my notes are there, I can see them, I move them, I'm thinking, big brain sheller. They choose their own family, they choose their own future, and they choose to live their lives being chased by the blade of the guillotine. So I'm thinking a bit spooky might be going on. They have a mission as this battalion to find a girl with mysterious, dangerous powers who is being hunted by both the revolutionaries and the royalists. And it's very much a game of who can you trust. The last line, which I love. Who is playing who in this treacherous game of science, magic, love and loss? So you get a band of misfits, or outsiders. It's historical. It's set in France. And there's magic. And a female-female romance. I think I'm going to like this book. I do know this is the first in a trilogy, if I remember correctly, so I'm hoping I do enjoy it. The Reign of Terror in Paris around that time, I haven't a clue what it's about, so I'm hoping that if I enjoy this book, I will go do some research on it. Hopefully I will, because as you know, as I keep prattling on about, I want to read more about history. I'm a lover. But yeah, book number 2 on my TBR. So book number 7 on my TBR shelves is The Guest List by Lucy Foley, or Foley, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that name. Don't ask me why, it probably is Foley, but you know, yay. I haven't tried to sum up the blurb. You'll know why. Each has a secret, each has a motive. Off the windswept Irish coast, guests gather for the wedding of the year. Old friends, past grudges. Happy families, hidden jealousies. 13 guests, one body. One guest won't leave this wedding alive. When I first read the blurb for this book, it did give me the vibes of And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Obviously, going from that, I don't think everyone dies, but it gave me that kind of vibe. I'm really looking forward to diving into this one. It's very much as like a thriller type book, which I do, while I enjoy them year round, I do tend to enjoy them a lot more during the colder months, because I just get to put on either my hoodie or get my little duvet around me, sit there getting warm, read and just get lost in this great landscape and book. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this book. So book number 7 on my TBR shelves, book number 3 for October. Book number 10 on my physical TBR shelf, but book number 4 for October is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. Yes, the film is based off a book. I absolutely adore the Practical Magic film. If you haven't watched it, you need to. It is just like one of the perfect adult films for Halloween that isn't horror or gore based. It is just such a lovely film to watch. When I watched that film, it was the first film that made me really like Sandra Bullock, so I love it. I haven't read this book yet before. Really looking forward to reading it in October. I was hoping it would come up, so eldest niece, thank you for picking this number. In my September TBR, you will have seen that I did read the prequel to this book. That will be coming up in next week's video in my September wrap up. But yeah, so really looking forward to this one. In this book, you follow Gillian and Sally, who are 2 sisters who have grown up in a town where they have been used to magic, but then they have been shunned for it. They wanted to get away. When they were younger, they went there. When now they're older, they want to get away. They do. They lead totally opposite lives, but a tragedy happens and they come together and they come back to this town. And I don't want to say too much because I will spoil it, but if you don't want to read the book, go watch the film. I'm hoping I love this book as much as I love the film, because perfect for Halloween, yes. Book number 12 on my TBR shelves and book number 5 for October is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Now, there are 2 blurbs for this book. There is the one on Goodreads and the one on the actual book. I haven't summed up the blurb on Goodreads because for me, reading it, if I'm reading correctly, it spoils, I think. I've probably reading that wrong, but for me it spoils, so I will just read you what it says in the back of the book. Be careful who you let in. In a large house in London's fashionable Chelsea, a baby is awake in her cot. Well fed and cared for, she is happily waiting for someone to pick her up. In the kitchen lies 3 decomposing corpses. Close to them, a hastily scrawled note. They've been dead for several days. Who has been looking after the baby? And where did they go? Yeah, so again, a very much type thriller book, I am thinking. So again, perfect for Halloween. Really looking forward to this book. It's been on my TBR for a while, just haven't bought it from Waterstones. So if you've seen from my September haul video, I picked it up and it's now come from my TBR. Really looking forward to this video. I wasn't sure if I'd read anything by Lisa Jewell before. I was meant to mention it in that video. I didn't. I've had a look. I haven't read anything from Lisa Jewell. Really looking forward to this one because I know Lisa has wrote other books that people have loved, so I'm hoping if I like this one, I like the rest that she's wrote too. Book number 6 for October is The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson, and this is the Illumicrate edition for August. So in this world, multiverses have been found and a way to transport between the different Earths has been discovered. There is just one rule. You cannot visit a world where your own person lives, so like your doppelganger lives. Out of the 308 worlds that have been found, our protagonist, Kara, is dead and all but 8. Kara was born in the wastelands outside a safe and walled city, and as she is older, she is offered a job to travel between the different Earths and to live within this fantastic city which she's lived in the shadow of for her entire life. One day, one of her doppelgangers dies in mysterious circumstances, and she is thrown into a world where there is an old secret, and she finds out how her past, present and future are all linked to this one secret, which could destroy the multiverse itself. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, so I'm looking forward to reading this book. It's kind of one of the reasons that I did sign up to Illumicrate. This was my first book from them, because I know they do have some sci-fi choices some months, so this will definitely be something that I hope to read pretty quick in October, just because I do want to read a bit more sci-fi. But yeah, really looking forward to reading this, and I love the colour, the sprayed edges, and it's also purple on the spine. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this book. And the 7th and final book that my niece picked for me is Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. In this book you follow our protagonist called Sheetal, who you find out her mother was a star and her father is human, which means she has hair the silver of starlight and has to hide ever since her mother went back to the stars. As she gets close to her 17th birthday, Sheetal feels the pull of the stars getting stronger and stronger, until one day Starfire shoots out from her after she loses control and hurts her father, giving him an injury which only a full star's blood can heal. So she goes to the stars and finds out the reason why her family has been calling her is because they want her to be their human champion in a game to find out which ruling family will control the stars. She agrees to it for her father's sake, however finds some secrets that may put her in danger and finds out there are others who want to close the gates between the stars and the human world forever. This is a book that is very much hyped on, it was very much hyped on BookTube, Book Twitter, Bookstagram, and then when it was released it started getting mixed reviews. So I'm going into this blank slate. I'm going into this as if I only was attracted to it for the cover, which I am. I mean, hello, and yes, it shimmers in the sunlight. So it's a blank slate. I'm going in as if I've heard no one read this book, no one's rated this book. I don't know what it is apart from it's about a girl who's half star, half human. But yeah, liking it. Now I've gone over the books that my niece picked for me. Time to go over the 2 books that my best friend Sophie picked for me. So book number 8 on my shelf and book number 8 on my TBR list is They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. In this book, you follow a character called Jill Newman who, when in her freshman year, her best friend Shayla was murdered one night. Shayla's boyfriend Graham confesses to this crime, is found guilty, put in prison, and Jill tries to move on. 3 years later, in Jill's senior year, she is determined this will be the best year ever. She's a senior and she's also part of her school's private society called the Players. Don't ask me. In this society, they hold the best parties, have the highest grades, and the admiration of the entire school. What secret society doesn't? During the senior year, however, Jill starts receiving texts saying that Graham is innocent. So Jill decides to get to the bottom of this and find out if it's true, and if so, who really killed her best friend. But by doing so, Jill puts both her future, her friendships, and her life at stake. I haven't heard a lot of people reviewing this book or talking about it. I can't even remember. I think it was one of Kayla's from Books and Lala's videos when she's talking about her upcoming books that she's really looking forward to, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to go through her videos and link it down below because I'll be here forever, but I will link her channel down below because she is such a good booktuber. She is fantastic. All her videos are kind of different, so I will link her channel down below. Go give her a follow and a watch if you haven't. But yeah, really looking forward to this book. Again, it's kind of like a YA thriller, so I should be in the mood for it. But yeah, I have nearly put this on my TBR ever since I got it in June, so every month it's nearly been read and it just didn't get there, so I'm kind of glad it's been picked this month so I can get it off the shelf. Not in a bad way, just because I can't go, oh, it's there again, I need to pick up. Book number 9 on my October TBR and book 25 on my shelf. The Borgias by Paul Strathen. This is a book about the Borgia family from history, so I'm not going to give you too much detail because I've already gone through it through my book haul. And yeah, this is going to be a wild ride. If you don't know anything about the Borgias, go have a quick Google because you'll be shocked about what this family got up to, because wow is all I'm gonna say. Wow. So there are all 9 books that have been picked for me. So now on to the final 4 books I want to read in October. So book number 10 is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. In this book you follow Avery, who has had nothing in her life. She's had to work hard for where she is and what she has got. One day an eccentric billionaire dies and for some reason leaves her everything. She's never met this man, she has no idea who this man is. And his family are a bit like, who is this random girl and why is she coming for our money and our home and everything? So Avery decides to move into the mansion which she has inherited and live with his family. And it is a game of who can win to keep their hands on this money and fortune. Really looking forward to this, actually. Just because I think it's so weird that, oh wait, I'm a billionaire. I have never met you. For some reason, I'm going to leave you all my money in the world and everything I possess. If there's a billionaire or a millionaire out there who wants to do that for me, I'm available. Send me a DM. I'll give you all my deets. I don't mind. So yeah, really looking forward to this. Yeah. This is the part of this videos that I hate where it's like, oh, I have to give you a reason why I want to read it. I just want to read it. Yeah, it sounds intriguing. So yeah, looking forward to reading it. I don't know what else to say. Number 10 on October's TBR is Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leake. This is a YA book with Celtic and Norse mythology in it, so I'm a lover. I wanted it for that reason. Yeah, so I love history, as you know. I read Rick Riordan, however you pronounce his name, so I know Roman and Greek. I did want to get into Norse and Celtic or Celtic mythology, however you want to pronounce it, so this book kind of seems like perfect for me. It is a YA book. In this, I am going to read the blurb. Well, I won't read you the full blurb, but just because there are some names in here where I'm like, and I have to read it so that I pronounce it. So in this book, you are in the ancient land of Erin, which has always been at war. And you follow a princess of Mead called Kira, who cannot remember a time where her land hasn't been at war with the Northernmen. Kira has visions. So with these visions, she's always been able to protect her people. But for some reason, recently, a crow has been coming to her, warning her of an even darker danger. Kira's people brush her off, say no, she's a silly kid, but Kira is really worried. One day, when her village or people are being attacked by Northernmen, she kidnaps the leader, Leaf, who turns out to have the same visions as Kira. Despite being enemies, Kira and Leaf have to work together to make sure this dark evil doesn't destroy just Erin, but the entire world. And as you can probably tell, it goes from being enemies to friendship to lovers, which is my jam. It's my jam. I love it. It's a trope I adore. It's a trope that I always want to read about, so this book, I think, will be my cup of tea. Sorry about the dancing. Book number 12 on October's TBR is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. In this book, you follow the Sukaid dynasty, who has controlled the Phoenix Empire for over 100 years, using their bone shard magic to control the horrible creatures who maintain law and order in the land. You enter this story when the Emperor is dying and there are revolutions happening all across the land. You follow a character called Lynn, who is the Emperor's daughter, but a childhood illness has wiped her childhood memories, has taken away her status as the heir to the Empire. Lynn wants to use her family's blood magic to get back her birthright, but doesn't quite realise that when you use it, you lose something. Lynn has to try and realise how to get her birthright back and to protect her people, and to see how far she'll go to do both these things. This is a debut fantasy novel. I was half and half about whether I'd buy this book. Then Holly reads, that's not the name of her channel, that's just how I know her as. I'll link her down below. She talks about it and she is kind of my go-to YouTuber for sci-fi and fantasy books. I thought if she likes it, I'll give it a try. It is part of a series, so I'm hoping I enjoy it so I can carry on the series. It looks like a chonker, however it's not. It's kind of on average for about the book sizes this month. Yay. The 13th and final book on my October TBR is The Majesties by Tiffany Zhao, and for this description I will read you the blurb because I can't put justice to it. Gwendolyn and Estella are as close as sisters can be. But now Gwendolyn is lying in a coma, the sole survivor after Estella poisons their entire family. As Gwendolyn struggles to regain consciousness, she desperately retraces her memories, trying to uncover the moment that led to such a horrifying act. Inviting us into the opulent world of the Chinese-Indonesian ultra-elite, from its gilded exterior to its nightmarish core, The Majesties is a haunting novel about the dark secrets that can build a family empire, and also bring it crashing down. I can't do justice to that. It is the smallest book on my list this month. It's 254 pages, which is why I'm so glad it came up compared to the size of some of these. You will notice the camera angle has changed because in that last angle I couldn't show you all books because the King's Witch was being cut out, but yeah, there's all 13 books for October. There are 4,871 pages, so for me to get through this list I need to read at least 157 pages per day, which means I can't do my usual thing of I'll finish one book one day and start the next book the next day. No. Because otherwise I won't get through 13 books. You might be sadly going, but Michelle, you did 19 in July. I did 19 in July when I had like practically half the month off because I need to use up annual leave. So yeah, 13 during what is my busiest month for work. Might have to start taking full hour breaks to the half an hour just so I can read. Yeah, really looking forward to this stack actually in this month. It's very much a mixture, but it's a mixture of books that I've been wanting to get to for October, so I'm really happy about that. If any of you out there have read any of these 13 books and want to give me tips on them, or this may be the best one to start first, comment down below. Let me know if you liked them, let me know if you didn't like them, let me know if you have any hints or tips for filming. You can just see there I have new shelves, so this will most likely be my background. I'm not doing a shelf tour. I don't have enough books out to do a shelf tour, so maybe when I decorate the room and get proper shelves, who knows. But that will be it for me this week. If you have any hints or tips for filming and editing like normal, comment down below. I will link below Kayla's and Holly's booktube channels that I've mentioned. I'll leave below my Goodreads profile and my Instagram handle if you want to come give me a follow on both. I don't mind. But until next week's September wrap up, that's it for me and my books. Bye.